In this video, in the previous video, I have proved that there is a possibility of a minor religious denomination of Judaism in Arabia, which might have begun to call Ezra as son of God due to his contributions and reformations in the pure Jewish sense, in the Tanakhic sense, and not in the Christological sense. So, a son of God may be a person who is very close to God, or a rational suppositum who is very close to God, or a rational being or rational entity who is very close to God. But a person or a rational suppositor or a rational being or a rational entity who is more close to God may not be termed as son of God, but as slave of God. Nowadays, the word slave is changed by the servant, but the servant is a sophistication and actual meaning is a slave. So, we should focus over the definitions of the terms and not the literal meaning of the terms. Okay, so now we come to the second point, that what is likely, what we can say that these people used to say, what we can say about them, and what they used to say. So Ezra as son of God, they can say it in pure Jewish sense, not in Christological sense. So a person may be called son of God if he satisfies the conditions of the son of God or sons of God. So if there is a group of people or subgroup of supposita or persons or rational supposita or rational entities which are called sons of God, then any one of them can be called a son of God. Ben Elohim and Beni Elohim. This is the problem. So, but the mean sense is not in the sense is in the Jewish definition and not in the Christological definition. It is purely non-Christological meaning of the term. So why some people have begun to call such a person as son of God? They may have seen Christians, they might have been influenced when a Christian used to use the phrase son of God for Jesus or Jesus. A Jew might have tried to use the same expression in the Jewish sense for someone, and they found him as Ezra or Uzair, if we equate Ezra by Uzair. So there is a possibility. Another possibility is that they might have some conflicts or debates with Samaritans, and these Samaritans might have said something abusing or to Ezra, and in their response they called him as son of God, and this expression became somewhat more popular than required. Thirdly, they faced polytheism, and perhaps they wanted to combat polytheism in terms. So they used to call him son of God. But there's nothing that implies that they began to believe that there is a hypostasis that is the Son of God, and Ezra is the incarnation of that hypostasis that is in the Osea of Yahweh. So I don't think that this was their belief. They used the term, the phrase, which was a term for Ezra in purely Jewish sense, not in the sense of New Testament or the followers of the New Testament. So this is the point to be noted, that in order to combat with the polytheistic views of Arabian polytheists and Christians and some perhaps even Samaritans, they began to call Ezra son of God. So it is very clear that they were unable to call Moses as son of God. So the second person they selected was Ezra. So they began to call him son of God, and this is what these people, a minor religious denomination of Judaism, began to call him. But based on such expressions and the usage, we cannot say that they were heretics, and so much heretics as they were heretics to a degree that they were excluded from Judaism. So they were included in Judaism, but they were not the mainstream. They were actually isolated case, and this is what I want to show, that there is a possibility, and we can say that the rest of Judaism did not accept their views, or they drifted in their views from the mainstream or the majority denomination in this context or in this regard. Finally, one more thing, that not everything ascribed to Judaism means that it is ascribed to the mainstream. For an example, Metatron is sometimes called as a lesser Yahweh, but it is not the view of mainstream. So if it is said that Jews believe in Metatron as a lesser Yahweh, one may point out that mainstream do not believe Metatron as a lesser Yahweh. Okay, that is a very important point. And but one may say in response to such a person that if a minor religious denomination of Judaism says such a thing and cannot be expelled or excluded from Judaism for saying such for holding such beliefs, then one may safely say that Jews says it, meaning in the sense that some Jews. So when it is said that Jews says, it does not mean that all the Jews said. It is quite impossible for a thing to be ascribed to the entire Judaism. One may at best say that some of the Jews say. So what Jews say means what some of the Jews say. Similarly, if we say the Christian says, that does not mean that each and every Christian says or each and every sect says. Even a minor religious denomination of Christianity and or Christendom may say such a thing. So this is very important thing. So I have proved that such a thing is possible, and it is not in the sense which is ascribed, that is in the Christological or hypostatic sense. It is just in the pure Jewish sense.